In One Piece, there's a rare Haki type that many top tiers possess. From Doflamingo to Kaido, the ability's been hyped up as one of the most elite abilities in the series. So I think by now you know what ability I'm talking about, since it's basically on the title, and not basically, it is in the title and it's on the thumbnail, so yeah, it's Conquerors Haki. I'm gonna stop edging you guys. And as you know, it's the main focus of today's video, so I'm gonna be going over who I believe are the remaining Conquerors in the series. Before I get into the video, as per usual, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, since it's a great way of helping out the channel, and obviously it's a win-win for both of us. Your support and I push out more amazing videos like this, so yeah. Anyway, that's enough of my rambling, let's get straight into why you're here. Okay, so to start, we're gonna have to go over the requirements to becoming a conqueror. Now, I'm sorry that Oda hasn't given us a whole lot of dialogue or book telling us how to become a conqueror or what is required to be one, but I'm obviously going to infer from what we've seen from characters inside the story and whatnot. Now, I think the easiest way to figure out what a conqueror is if we separate the conquerors into two groups. I'm going to pick the main group and I'm going to pick the side group. Now, in the main batch of conquerors are the people you expect to be conquerors, so people like Luffy, Roger, Zoro, and I don't like him, but Kid. I bring these four up because they all have one thing in common. They all had one thing, and that's to stand at the top of the world. The reason they're conquerors is because they want to reach the top and won't stop no matter what. Now, one person out of the four of them has been mentally broken, and that is Luffy. But I feel like a true attribute of a conqueror is to be able to then bounce back from obviously your setback. And that's what Luffy does. As a conqueror, he obviously bounces back and then just comes back stronger. So for the first batch, it's pretty simple. They are people that want to strive to the top and will always say their dreams or whatever whenever they're being questioned. Like, they are the people that you'd expect to be conquerors. Next up on the list are the weird conquerors, and they are Whitebeard, Rayleigh, Yamato, and Katakuri. These four are different from the first group, as they don't intend on striving to the top or having any personal goals like that. But with this four, we're able to then infer what conquerors are. Conquerors are people with indomitable spirits and will always let their presence or whatever just be known. Like, everybody here has a noticeable presence. Whether it's fighting for their family or fighting to become the world's greatest swordsman or just something, they all fight for what they want. And another thing conquerors are great at doing is influencing people, and that is something that all of them can do. Whether it's Luffy, whether it's Shanks, whether it's Whitebeard, they all influence people in some way or another and let their will be known. And this will be very important when coming up with this list. Now, Oda may have something different in mind for what conquerors can truly be, but from what I'm inferring, all of them seem to have an indomitable spirit and obviously are able to influence people around them. That is what I think is the base sort of thing for conquerors, and obviously for fighting for what they truly want. And with that being said, I think that is where we're able to now obviously move on to the list. Now, this is going to be sectioned up into three parts, and the first part is the people who I believe are just waiting to be confirmed as conquerors. And to begin this section, we have Dracula Mihawk. Many people believe that Mihawk doesn't have conquerors for some reason, and I'm sorry to tell you guys, but he actually does. Aside from his obvious scaling with Shanks, Mihawk set out to be the world's greatest swordsman and became just that, sitting on top of the world and waiting for somebody to challenge him. He's conquered such a massive part of One Piece. Swordsmanship is one of the biggest things in One Piece, and I know people can be like, well, many people don't like being the world's greatest swordsman or whatever, or don't strive to be it, but that's the whole point. He's so dominant that people don't want to go down that route. And the thing is that the person he's fated to fight is a conqueror, and Shanks, his former rival, was a conqueror, so why would he not have conquerors? So yes, Mihawk does have Conquerors Haki. Next up on the list is the only Monkey D that's not been shown to use conquerors, and as we know, the other two monkeys have been fighting, so the only one left is obviously Dragon. Dragon's ambition is clear, and to obviously overthrow the government and create real change in the world, you have to have a massive spirit and an indomitable spirit for this, and to obviously influence so many people to come behind your cause, he's literally a conqueror. Plus, there is this one statement in Marineford that does kind of soft confirm that he has it, so yeah, he definitely has it. I'm just waiting for him to show it. Plus, I doubt with his dad and his son having conquerors, it's just going to skip the line. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he will just obviously have it. Now that we've covered a pirate and a rev, I think it's time for us to cover a marine. And that marine is Sakazuki. With the goal of crushing every pirate on the sea and leading the marines against the world of piracy, I don't think there is a need to explain why this guy is a conqueror. Like, this guy's ideals are so strong, he began to take out people who refused to help him in Marineford. Sakazuki is all about his ideals and will follow them to the bitter end, so his spot here should definitely be solidified. And for the last person on this section, we're going to take a jump back to piracy and focus on Blackbeard. Being Luffy's Yang, Blackbeard is literally there to oppose Luffy. Although he doesn't show many Haki feats, his ventures and what he does shows that he can influence people. He has an indomitable spirit and he'll obviously do anything to get the job done. In everything he set out to do, he's conquered it, so I don't think there is a reason to why him having conquerors should be debatable. I mean, I can get you saying, oh, he wants to go down the route of devil fruits, but I do think he's still going to have it either way. And with that being said, this is where I'm going to wrap up the first section and then jump into the second one. And to start off the second one, we're going to focus on everybody's favourite blind man, and that's Fujitora. Fujitora is a massive contender for Conquerors, as every single time we've seen him, he's standing on his morals and his goals. This is easily showcased through the fact that he blinded himself when he saw the injustices going on, and then after that he argues with Sakazuki, and then he fights Green Bull. When he argued with Sakazuki, he obviously did this because he saw what was going on in Dressrosa and decided, no, we're going to deal with it my way because I'm not allowing this BS to keep going on. And then with Fujitora, he was hoping slaves escape. It doesn't matter if it's Emu himself, he would defy orders and follow his heart. So with that being said, I do believe that Fujitora does have a very good case for getting Conquerors. So far we haven't seen him influence anybody, but we've seen him stand on his morals and stand his ground no matter who's in front of him. And to go on to another Marine, we have Kobe. Now I know Kobe is very contentious, but follow me. Kobe has many things suggesting that he will be Luffy's garb, and he obviously stands on his morals because he did that against Akainu in Marineford. So I feel like ever since Hachinosu, there has been a massive focal point on Kobe. Like every single time we see Kobe, he's in an important panel or he's obviously saying that he wants to take down Luffy. So I think him getting Conquerors will just be that last extra push to people actually taking him seriously and treating him as he should be treated. And so I do think Kobe does have a very solid chance of getting Conquerors. With Kobe out of the way, let's get into our Rev Commander, who I think may possess Conquerors, and that is Sabo. Sabo has shown us time and time again that he will fight for his ideals and will strive for what he wants. Especially with him being second in command of the Revs, I think that it could add to the firepower of the squad. And with his new moniker, we're able to see how powerful his influence is. Plus with him being in between Luffy and Ace, I think Oda should just make them a trio of Conquerors since Sabo does kind of suit the role. So yeah, Sabo is another person who I do believe does have a solid chance at gaining it. Following up on Sabo, we have our favourite blonde, and that is Sanji. Now yes, I know you may think I'm gargling right now, but wait. It's not in my mouth just yet. Let's take a little moment and breathe and then let's get into it. Now, as a child, Sanji wanted to become one thing, and through that one thing, he found out the end goal for it. The same way pirates have the One Piece, cooks have the All Blue. And even as a child, Sanji fought for what he wanted. Now I know a lot of people may be like, oh, but he then threw away his dream. But I mean, when he brings it up to Luffy, Zeph literally says the spark in his eyes comes back. And one thing people need to realize is that we've seen Luffy literally be mentally broken, just like Sanji. Or I'd say even worse, because Luffy says, nah, I ain't becoming no damn pirate king. So yes, Conquerors can be broken mentally, but obviously people can bounce back, and Sanji has bounced back and he has shown the ability to influence people around him. And I say for the most part, obviously his spirit is strong. We've seen it obviously crack at times, but it's a strong spirit. So I do think he does have a good argument for Conquerors, but as a Sanji fan myself, I don't believe he really needs it. I don't really care about him getting it. I think he could just keep what he's got, keep advancing, and he'll be fine. And with that being said, let's segue into our next person. We have another Straw Hat here, and that's Usopp. And I know with Elbaf here, a lot of people are going to be looking at Usopp and seeing, okay, this is your time to really shine and get your Haki up. Personally, I feel like this would be the best or one of the best character enders we could get for Usopp, since it's basically showing his bravery as through his Conquerors. He's able to obviously show his will. And obviously Conquerors are known as brave people, so obviously ending it off as a brave conqueror would be very nice for Usopp's character. It would kind of show us that he's always had it deep down inside. It's like he's been doubting himself, like that thing where it's, you know it's in there, but you don't really know if it's there, so you're obviously building up to it, and then when you finally see it's there, you're like, I am that guy. And that's what I believe Usopp is probably building up to right now. Obviously, if he doesn't gain it, then okay, it's whatever, but I do believe he will have a massive incentive to get Conquerors. And so yeah, I think Conquerors would be a beautiful way to end Usopp's character. And with Usopp, that is the second section of the video done. And with the third section, it's not going to be too long. It's just a little short, quick fire round. Unlike the last two, I'm going to be firing these out quick. I'm just going to be naming 4 people who I do believe will be Conquerors or who have a likely chance of being Conquerors. And the first one is Ben Beckman. I think just to kind of like mirror Luffy and Roger, obviously Roger having Rayleigh and then Luffy having Zoro, I think obviously his right hand man should have conquerors. If he doesn't have it, then that's fine, but I feel like people do expect Ben Beckman to have conquerors. Following Ben Beckman, we have Garland, and I think Garland is very expected to have conquerors, as we do believe he is somebody connected to Shanks, and just off of the back alone that he was the head Holy Knight, he's now a Gorosei member, and he was the one leading the charge against Roger, Rox, and them on God Valley. Yeah, he definitely does have conquerors in some way of fashion. Taking a massive step down in age, let's focus on Momonosuke. Now, I believe Momonosuke has it mainly due to his potential. Having the devil fruit of Kaido and then the genes of Oden, like, that is a broken combo, I'm sorry. And on top of that, he inherited his dad's ability to hear the voice of all things, or just have, not hear, but have the voice of all things, and I think that is a massive factor into why I think he could be a conqueror. Momonosuke is obviously a special person, and being a shogun of Wano at such a young age and having to go through all those things at a young age and obviously overcoming them and conquering them, I do believe he does have some sort of like foot in the door, and plus he does influence a whole country at this point, so yeah, I totally think that he can be a conqueror. And with him out of the way, let's get into our final person, and that is our favorite clown, Buggy. Ever since I saw Luffy activate Conquerors, I said Buggy should have it as well, just as a joke. And obviously, as time's gone on, we've seen Buggy influence people, we've seen his spirit. Buggy does actually check off all the things for a conqueror. It's just the fact that he's not like really strong, so we don't really want to see him have it. But I think if the story keeps going on as it's going on, I can see him using it by accident. I know Buggy's more of like a parody character, but I could really see him using it. Not as like a serious way, but I can see Oda using it as like a joke. He has it, but it's like, it's not really used seriously because, I mean, come on, it's Buggy. And I think that would just really like spice things up. So yeah, Buggy having conquerors is like a massive possibility in my eyes. And if he does be confirmed to have it, then all I can say is that I was on it from the start. But yeah, I think that's the video done. I feel like the video felt a little bit rushed, but I have a few things to do and I want to kind of like get to editing and push it out because I've got a few things going on in the background. So I don't want to like, you just know things are going on, so I'm trying to like push this video out and then focus on something that's coming after. But I hope you enjoyed the video. You can leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.